Shabbat Shalom. It is Sabbath, March 21st, 2025. And I just wanted to say that the more darkness that comes on me, the more I believe in the light. That's how my faith always began. I did not believe fully until demonic entities started manifesting around me and doing a bunch of stuff. So I had to believe in Satan before I believed in God. So the more Satan come against me, the more I believe in God. And it was through my faith in believing in him, he actually started to reveal himself to me. This is God, not Satan. Satan has always made himself known to me since I was a teenager. When I moved to the South, that was a very different setting for me coming from the North. And, but it was a culture shock. But also, that's when Satan made himself known to me. And ever since then, it's been nonstop, like nonstop. He came to me before that. The proposition that he came to me on was before or after. That wasn't his first visit, is what I'm trying to say. So when he came to me the first time, I was about, I had just moved to the South, and I was in a dark space because of that. I was going to be a senior in middle school, where I came from in New York. I had my own crew. We was going to take over the school in our senior year and all that, and then being pulled from that and placed in the South where there's nothing going on, but yet the children are worse. Like, I came to the South, I was pure. I didn't know anything about sexual intercourse. I was still a virgin, never smoked or drank. I didn't know anything about that coming from the big city, you see. So it was very interesting. So I believed. I'll tell you about my upbringing, starting from me being a child and speaking on the childhood aspect of my life. It was very, very oppressive. For me personally, I was the only child in that family that was oppressed. I was always treated differently for whatever reason. I came to say that, before I understood the spiritual side of things, I was saying, oh, it's because I'm the light skinned person in the family. Because, my mother made that known, by calling me names like red, you red A, and all this stuff. So, and I was the lightest one in the family. I came to also understand later on in my life, to try to understand why my mother was treating me differently, was colorism. Like, she is from the deep South, and she was born of the silent generation. Her father was still picking cotton for the white man when she was alive. So, I mean, not when she was alive, but during her childhood. That's what she experienced. Lighter skinned women always seem to get the better treatment. I don't know. But I have nothing to do with that. And for you to take me in as a child just to take out all of your frustrations on how you felt about when you was growing up and what your sister got over you because you're darker than her, you know, that I have no dealings with that. I have nothing to do with that. So my mother always made sure that my life was harder than it has to be. She didn't invest in no education, no future of mine. The future that she wanted me to have was always spoken over me since I was 5 years old, as young as I can remember. You're nothing. You're no one. You're going to be just like your mother, having all these babies and nothing. Now, this is, okay, 5, 6, 7 years old, before I even know what sex is or anything. This is the things that she was speaking over my life. You're nothing. No man would marry you. No man wants you. This and that, because she was bitter her whole life. She never was married. How did we end up in the South was because she finally got married to someone, which that crashed and burned as well. But it ended up taking my childhood with it. It ended up changing the trajectory of my life. still to this day, because I got a child out of it. And I'm going to get into that too. But anyway, so she just made sure, like, anybody in the family that seemed to like me, she would make sure to go out her way and say all type of evil, nasty, wicked things about me to these people, so everybody would stay away from me. She would deprive me of love while emotionally abusing me my whole life. So it wasn't enough that I was already rejected at birth by my own parents, right? And I was a crack baby. I already had developmental issues. I was mute. I was scared to speak and talk. They thought I was like seriously underdeveloped mentally. I was in a special school for special children, all of this stuff. And she was raking in the dough because of that. When she got me, I was never in a foster home. It was interesting because when my mother gave birth, she was high on crack. And she got up and walked out after she gave birth to me. I don't know who named me. I don't know anything about anything. All I know, from the hospital, I was then taken by my cousin or something, and apparently she was crazy. I don't know how the state of New York released a newborn baby to a person who was crazy, but I don't know the true story. But she had me up until the 2 years and 8 months. My grandmother, God bless her soul, she tried. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to be that way. I say to this day that my mother, my birth mother, killed my grandmother. My grandma was dealing with so much stuff that her daughter was doing, and kept on having babies and being loaded down with crack. And, by the time I came along, I was the baby at the time. My grandma couldn't take, she already had my brother and my sister, who was already enough trouble. Okay. We talking about children who was born with crack in their systems. So that's a heavy task, okay, to then raise these kids. But anyway, so you kept on having more. Anyway, my grandma ended up dying like 6 months after my mother died. Both parents, both my birth parents, my mama and my daddy, was dead before 50 years old. Satan was not kind to my bloodline. He literally, I don't know. I don't know what we got in our bloodline. I have heard that my mother was a part of the Black Panther Party. I don't know, but I know what was going on in New York at the time, where the Black Panthers, they were doing, it was finally something that was happening for our people in a positive way. And then the government, you know how they do, infiltrate. And then next thing you know, we have crack in our communities. Nobody knew what this was and where it came from. They were smoking it like cigarettes, until it destroyed entire families and generations that we're still dealing with to this day. I am a product of my generation, so I already came into this world with nothing, no one, no identity. I don't even know who my parents are. I have nothing. I have no inheritance. I have nothing. And so I was given to this lady at 2 years old and 8 months. I remember, because they think I was so retarded. They still feel like they look at me like I'm this just crack baby with no voice and no brain. Like, I don't know. But they feel like I don't remember these moments, and I do. Just because I wasn't talking doesn't mean I didn't know how to talk. All right? And they saw that later on. But there was this moment where she told me, so she had to take me to these places, right? So when I came to her, I was already in a special school for special children because I wasn't talking, and I was a nervous kid. I had very bad anxiety. I don't know. I was just, that's what they say. I would just be so nervous. I wouldn't eat. I wouldn't do anything or whatever. But when I came to her, I was already in the school. So she had to continue to take me back and forth to these specialists. Well, anyway, I remember her telling me, when you go in here, I want you to act crazy. Just start yelling and screaming and tearing up things. And she said to me, if you do that, I will get you a Happy Meal. Now, for me, I was like 4 or 5 years old. That's gold to me. My mother was very stingy, very, you know what I'm saying? She never did give us Happy Meals. Like, I would be lucky to taste what McDonald's fries taste like. She would do it like this. She would get 4 regular hamburgers. This is when we were kids. I grew up with my brother and my niece, and that's a whole different story. But we were the 3 siblings, close in age. So my brother was a year older than me, then it was me, then my niece, who was, well, grew up like sisters, but really my niece, she's 2 years younger than me. Okay, so she would get the 4 hamburgers, 3 for us, 1 for her, and get a large Coke, and then ask for 4 empty cups. And that's what we'll do. So when she told me about the Happy Meal, I was like, heck yeah. And I went in there and acted crazy. Now, I didn't realize until I just started putting all of this together like a couple of years ago, because it's so crazy how long this has been going on and what she still continues to do to me to this day. But she really tried to destroy my life. Like, she wants me dead. This lady wants me dead. I don't know if she's into witchcraft or what, but she wants me dead. She doesn't know that I know that she has insurance policies in my name. Okay, that's a whole nother story. She's that greedy. But at the end of the day, so when I came to her, that's what she did. So she was getting 2 checks for me, not only for the foster or adopted kid check, but also an additional check for me because I was crazy. So anyway, this is the stuff. This is con artists. This is the family that I grew up in. So here I am being a pawn, being pimped out. This is all. I am what everybody tell me that I am. I'm not me. I'm not what God created me to be. I got to be what all these people want me to be, but yet they get to walk in who they want to be. I was never supposed to do that. I had a Cinderella type of upbringing. Again, they knew what was on me. I didn't. Like, people would just fall in love with me. I don't know, since I was a kid. I loved people. I was, a lot of my teachers would say I was their best student, this and that and the third. I remember one time, this was like during 9/11, shortly before 9/11, or somewhere around there. I was still in middle school, we were still in New York. And I remember my science teacher from 7th grade, Miss Chapman. We had a parents teacher conference, and my mom came in. She was telling my mom, having all these compliments. And it's like, I don't know, but my mother did not like that. Now, what mother is not going to like their child's teacher say all these wonderful things about them, right? Because it make them look good. My mom didn't teach me none of the good qualities in me. Trust me. She did not, they were already in me. Okay. Tell me how that happened, because nobody taught me this. And in fact, they frowned upon it and said I was weak, I was stupid, this and that. So whatever, at the end of the day, she interrupted my teacher and decided to tell her all these wicked things about me. In so much, let me tell you how horrible it was, that my teacher started blushing. Okay? Like, just continue to try to rip me and tear me down. Anything good, that they won't acknowledge the good. They will never acknowledge the good in me. This family and people with demonic spirits, they're not going to do it. They're never going to acknowledge the good that you do or the good that's in you. They're never going to acknowledge your accomplishments, or you reached goals or anything good. They're not going to do it. So I had to be my own cheerleader my whole life. All right? Like, why would I want to go to school? My mother never checked my grades. She never cared. She never did anything that, growing up. Like, okay, I got out of the special school for special children. I guess they saw I didn't need to be in there. Then I went into special ed in the regular schools from grade 1 to 5. My third grade teacher, it started since third grade. They were telling my mom, she doesn't need to be in here. She doesn't need to be in special education. My mom never done anything about it. 3 teachers went by, 3 years, 3 grades went by until my fifth grade teacher. I will never forget him. If it wasn't for Mr. Ponzio, I don't know, and I still remember his name, because good teachers have impact on people's lives and you will forever remember them, even as an adult. This man literally paved the way for me to be able to function as an adult later on in my life. You see what I mean? These people were deliberately trying to set me up and sabotage me for failure. Okay? He the one went out his way and he took me out of special ed in fifth grade. And my mom couldn't do nothing about it, because it's like, okay, the prior teachers told her, but if she didn't do anything, then they couldn't do anything. So my teacher, all right, he literally did what he needed to do and pretty much forced my mom in the corner. It was like, look, are you going to sign this? Because she doesn't need to be in here. And sure enough, I was able to get out of special ed. Now, of course, I was so far behind once I got to sixth grade, especially math. I'm horrible in math. Like, I didn't learn anything. I don't know how people call somebody dumb or stupid or slow or look down on them for lack of knowledge. We all came into this earth with no knowledge at all. And it is up to our parents to teach the clean slates what they need to know. How do you expect these people to know things that was literally hidden from them? Okay? It was purposely hidden or kept away from them. They're not God to know everything. All right? So I had to learn the hard way in life a lot. My mom really went out her way to do this to me. And again, everybody in the family watched her do it. They benefited off it. I'll tell you the lifestyle. It was an abusive home. It was an abusive home. From the outside looking in, you look at us as kids and you say, oh, y'all dress nice. Oh, y'all always in da, da, da. My mom knew what to do and how to do it. She knew. And then, okay, how come there's moments where you take my niece, who's 2 years younger than me, and you make her beat me up in the corner, and then you tell me, I dare you to hit her back? This is what my mother was doing as children, still to this day, my niece. As a grown woman, we all grown now. I have a teenage daughter, all right? I'm 35 years old. And she still think that she can bully, and she came out her mouth several times saying crazy things to me. Oh, you're beneath me. Know your place. This is what the family wants from me, to know my place. I was just there serving them. Whatever needed to be done, I did it. And yet I was getting nowhere in life. My mother would help all the other siblings out, and yet I was nothing. She would talk crap on the phone about me to other people and members of the family, to where nobody felt any type of compassion. Like, they all watched me burn, because my mother would study lying on me, saying, oh, here's a good example. My teenage years, when we moved south, and now I have nothing. I'm in the south. Now I need a car. I need this. I need my mama's support for me to do anything as a child, right? And all of my friends are working, and yet I'm asking my mom, can I go to work? Like, all of my friends get to work, and I don't get to do anything but go to church and go to school and come home. Like, you know what I'm saying? I didn't have a life. I was very sheltered. When all the other siblings got to do all this, I don't know nothing about that. They kept me in. I was just supposed to watch other people's babies, clean the house, this and that and the third. It's like, but yeah, I was getting older. I couldn't start building my future. You helping everybody else. They getting cars. I'm getting nothing. Okay, and then you're often comparing me and my niece, like my mother would stay doing that. From, I just told you, she used to get this same girl to beat me up in the corner to say, I dare you. She was enforcing it in her granddaughter that you will always be better than Vicky. Vicky is nothing. Okay. I'm so glad I'm not physically related to these people. I mean, because all three of these women in this family, again, I don't know if witchcraft was involved or what. They never did like anything good for me to happen. They went out their way to destroy my life, and they're still doing it. They have turned my own child against me, okay? All type of stuff. But Sonara, she chose what she chose. All right, and you think that, oh, my child, that's something she loves so great, it's gonna break her. Still not broken, because Sonara didn't have the foundational place in my heart. God did. Okay. He taught me that long time ago. All right, so keep up. Try to keep up. If you feel like you need to destroy me off this earth again, I don't understand. Like, I I don't understand. These people say they have everything. They done took and stole from me. They done devoured my house plenty times. They done caused me to lose so many things. Every time I build, they find a way to sabotage. Okay? So at the end of the day, it is what it is. They done made a deal with the devil, and I refuse to make it. You think you can offer me up as a sacrifice? Do you really think you can? Let's see who die first.